You begin by sinking into the quiet hum of the cosmos, letting its stillness settle gently around your mind. You feel as though you are floating at the edge of a vast and ancient sea, drifting in a darkness that is calm yet full of presence. The silence is not emptiness. Rather, it is soft and deep, like a timeless lullaby that has been playing since the first moments of existence. In this stillness, you become aware of your own breath, slow and steady. It syncs with something far greater than yourself, the gentle pulse of space itself. You imagine the universe breathing with you, expanding and contracting across eons, carrying within its rhythm stories older than any star. This is not a breath you can hear, but one you can feel in your heart, in the hollow between your ribs, as if you are part of something much larger. As you rest in that sensation, you become aware of the universe's slow unfolding. Space stretches softly, quietly, in a motion that is patient and gentle. It is not a violent stretching, but a graceful expansion, as though the cosmos itself is taking a deep, unhurried breath. You imagine the vast distances between galaxies gently growing, almost imperceptibly, like a delicate fabric being stretched by invisible hands. You picture that fabric as an endless cloth woven from light and darkness. Galaxies drip against it like lanterns floating on an infinite sea. They do not move through the fabric exactly. Instead, the fabric itself grows, and with its growth, the lanterns drift apart. You ride on that fabric, gliding between the lights, drifting with their slow separation. The feeling is not sad or lonely. It is quiet. It is inevitable. It is full of gentle possibility. Inside your mind, you reflect on how this cosmic expansion feels familiar. You remember times in your life when you have grown in ways that stretched what you knew, slowly and often without noticing until you look back. You understand now that growth does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, a widening of your world, a soft shift, something stretching inside you just as space stretches around galaxies. You conjure an image of the universe not long after its birth. Fierce, hot, dense with energy. In that early moment, everything is tightly packed, luminous, radiant. Over time, as space expands, that intensity softens. What was once bright and burning becomes calm and expansive, cooling into a peaceful darkness. You sense that every atom, every photon, every pulse of light remembers that beginning, carries its memory through time. You float with that memory, riding it softly on the sea of space. Photons that set out from distant stars long ago now reach you, but they are stretched, their wavelengths lengthened by the expansion. Light that was once brilliant and blue becomes softer, redder. In your imagination, each beam of light is like a ribbon, stretching, lengthening, carrying stories of ancient places. You follow those ribbons, letting them wind around you like gentle threads of time. As you drift, your sense of time begins to dissolve. Past feels near. The future feels like a natural continuation of now. You rest in a timeless field, one shaped by the slow breath of the cosmos. It is not linear. It is a soft melody. You feel carried in that melody, not as a passenger, but as part of the song itself. And then you sense a question forming. What guides this expansion? You realize that the motion you feel, the gentle stretch of space, must come from something more than empty nothingness. There must be a presence, subtle and pervasive, that gently encourages this gradual growth, this silent unfolding of all things. But the question is not pressed. It does not demand that you solve it. Instead, it rests, like a soft echo in the depths of your mind. You allow yourself to sit with it, to feel its edges without needing to define them. The universe has carried this question across time, through the quiet of drifting galaxies and the slow dance of distant lights. You watch in your mind's eye as ancient photons travel toward you, crossing unimaginable distances. Some of them began long before your world existed, before the continents were shaped, before life first blossomed. And now, after such a journey, they arrive here, stretched and softened, transformed by the very expansion that carries them. You welcome them, not as foreign visitors, but as old friends, familiar in a way that transcends time. The motion of space now feels intimate, not abstract. You sense it around you, in every direction, in every moment. If you were to reach out, you imagine you might feel a faint tug, a subtle pull, as though the universe gently guides your hand away from some invisible center. The expansion is not just a distant concept. It is something you feel in your being. This growth of the cosmos is unlike any movement you know on Earth. It is not like wind stirring leaves, or waves cresting and breaking on a shore. Instead, it is more like shadows shifting at dusk, or the soft settling of dust in golden light, or the calm, almost invisible rise of your chest as you inhale. The expansion is tender, dreamlike, as though reality itself stretches in a careful, deliberate way. You think of the quiet changes in your life, moments when something inside you grows, when your understanding widens, when your heart opens ever so slightly, unnoticed until you look back. You realize that cosmic expansion and personal growth share something essential. They both arise without force, without drama, yet shape the pattern of everything you are and everything you will be. Suspended in that calm, you become aware of a deeper presence woven through space, a force that is subtle, invisible, and persistent. It is there in every direction, in every corner of the universe, guiding the expansion even though you cannot see it or touch it. You feel its gentle influence, a quiet current beneath the surface of reality, bending the fabric of space in a way that shapes all things. Scientists call this presence dark energy, a name that acknowledges its mystery more than it explains it. In your mind, though, it is not frightening. It is not empty. It is a gentle companion, a quiet guide holding space for the cosmos to grow. You rest with this image, letting its softness settle into your awareness. You realize you do not need the complexity of equations or precise definitions tonight. You only need the feeling of being part of a universe that breathes, that expands, that carries you along in its slow exhale. Curiosity is enough. Presence is enough. Connection is enough. You linger in this awareness for a while, drifting in the ever-widening embrace of space. You drift further into the cosmos, leaving the luminous clusters of galaxies behind, and enter the quiet stretches that lie between them. These vast regions of emptiness appear at first to be nothing at all, a black sea where light scarcely reaches. Yet as you linger, you sense that the darkness itself is alive with subtle motion. It is not alive in the way that creatures breathe or rivers flow, but alive in its own way, a patient, persistent presence woven into the fabric of space. Here between the stars, the universe feels vast and intimate at the same time. As you float through this cosmic emptiness, you notice a soft, gentle push, almost imperceptible, nudging galaxies farther apart. You do not see it directly, yet you can feel it if you pay attention. It is as though the universe itself is breathing, carrying the distant islands of light outward in an ever-widening rhythm. You allow yourself to sink into this sensation, imagining the silent tide of dark energy that flows through the spaces between galaxies. This tide is subtle, consistent, and yet infinitely powerful, shaping the motion of everything it touches. The emptiness is not really empty. If you listen closely, you might imagine it humming with tiny vibrations, quantum whispers that flicker in and out of existence. You picture these fluctuations as delicate sparks, dancing invisibly, filling the void with potential. Each of these tiny flickers exerts a gentle pressure on the fabric of space-time, imperceptible to the human eye, but felt across unimaginable distances. You drift in awe at the thought that even in the quietest darkness, the universe is not still. As you glide between two distant galaxies, you notice the growing space between them. They do not move on their own. Instead, the very space that separates them is stretching, expanding gently, carrying them along. It is a silent expansion, unseen yet undeniable. You imagine the galaxies as boats on a vast, dark ocean. The current is slow and steady, invisible to anyone aboard, yet it moves them apart with a patient insistence. The stars within each galaxy remain together, but the distance between the islands of light grows ever wider. You allow yourself to float in this expanding darkness, letting it carry you like a leaf on a slow river. There is no rush, no tension, only the soft, steady pull of the universe. You begin to feel the emptiness as a presence, a subtle companion that shapes the motion of the cosmos without a single visible gesture. This void, this space between stars, is alive with gentle guidance, reminding you that even silence can hold energy, even darkness can have substance. You think of the familiar, everyday empty spaces on Earth. A quiet field at night, a room left undisturbed, the space between your own thoughts when you are calm. These small, tangible voids feel comforting, yet they are only echoes of the vast, unimaginable emptiness that stretches between galaxies. And yet, even here in this cosmic silence, there is motion, there is influence, there is quiet insistence. Nothingness is not simple. It is subtle, layered, and full of invisible activity. You imagine the atoms and particles that occupy this space, though in a fraction of the density found in stars. Some are isolated, drifting slowly across the void. Others flicker into existence for the briefest of moments before vanishing again. You sense that these fleeting appearances are part of a vast dance, a rhythm too delicate to notice except with imagination. And as you imagine it, you feel the rhythm touching you, a soft reminder that the universe's quiet forces are always present, shaping reality even when unseen. The emptiness seems to stretch into infinity, but you notice something remarkable. It is not truly uniform. Here and there, subtle variations ripple through the void, slight fluctuations in density, tiny shifts in gravitational pull. These variations are gentle, like the soft unevenness of a dark ocean, and they guide the paths of galaxies over immense stretches of time. You sense a delicate balance, the kind that does not announce itself, yet holds the universe together across unimaginable distances. You glide past a cluster of faint stars and let your attention drift toward the space surrounding them. You imagine the soft pull of dark energy acting everywhere, unseen but present, nudging the galaxies gently apart. It is like an invisible wind, slow and persistent, touching everything in its path. You do not feel urgency or force, only a quiet guidance, consistent across the vast reaches of emptiness. This is the same force that has been moving galaxies for billions of years, a whispering presence woven into the tapestry of space. And yet, this emptiness feels intimate. You sense that it is not separate from you. The space between stars mirrors the spaces within your own mind. Quiet, expanding, full of possibility, filled with tiny currents you may not see directly but can feel if you allow yourself to notice. In this awareness, the universe begins to feel less like a distant spectacle and more like a companion, guiding you gently as you drift through its silent expanses. You realize that the universe does not need to announce its forces. Dark energy does not roar. The vacuum between stars does not demand attention. And yet everything you see, every galaxy, every distant light, every subtle motion, speaks of its presence. You begin to understand that the spaces between matter are as important as the matter itself, carrying the quiet architecture of the cosmos and shaping the story of all that exists. As you move deeper into the void, you imagine time stretching with the space around you. A million years, a billion years, they feel almost like a single, slow exhale. You realize that this slow, persistent expansion has been at work since the earliest moments of the universe. You imagine standing at the edge of time, watching the gentle drift of galaxies across the dark ocean of space. It is both beautiful and humbling, a reminder of the patience inherent in the cosmos. You think about the scientists who first noticed this acceleration, measuring distant supernovae, observing the subtle pull of invisible forces. You feel their quiet excitement, their sense of wonder at discovering something so vast, so intangible, so unlike anything known before. And yet, you also feel their humility, the acknowledgement that some mysteries are not meant to be solved quickly, only observed, appreciated, and pondered. Floating between galaxies, you imagine the gentle waves of dark energy flowing through the vacuum. You picture them as currents in an endless sea, moving silently, shaping the paths of everything they touch. There is no hurry. There is no noise. There is only the soft insistence of motion, carrying the cosmos forward in a rhythm that has no beginning or end, only continuity and patience. The space around you is vast, but it is not lonely. You sense that the universe is full of presence, from the smallest quantum fluctuations to the largest clusters of galaxies. Each particle, each force, contributes to a harmony that is invisible yet profoundly felt. You float within this harmony, feeling connected to it, understanding that emptiness is never empty, and silence is never void of meaning. As your mind drifts further, you reflect on the idea that emptiness can hold secrets, subtle forces that guide the universe without fanfare. You imagine that the next step of your journey will take you closer to one of these secrets. The subtle, pervasive influence that flows through the very vacuum between the stars. You sense that following this quiet current may reveal more than any bright star ever could. You let yourself rest in the stillness of this space, feeling the gentle push of dark energy, the slow widening of galaxies, and the subtle hum of the vacuum itself. There is a deep calm here, a gentle rhythm that resonates within you. You sense that the journey is ongoing, that the universe's quiet mysteries are infinite, and that your exploration has only just begun. And as you drift forward in the soft darkness, carried by the gentle current between stars, you feel the quiet anticipation of the next chapter. Beyond the void, beyond the visible light, lies another layer of the universe, a hidden energy, pervasive and subtle, waiting to be understood. The mystery beckons, and you follow, softly, gently, with patient curiosity. You imagine yourself standing beneath a vast, dark sky, one that stretches endlessly in every direction. Above you, countless stars gleam, each carrying light that began its journey long before Earth had oceans, long before life had taken root. The sky seems familiar, yet it is a living record of something extraordinary. A universe in motion, moving in ways that are almost imperceptible, yet undeniable. Tonight, you feel as though you are standing at the edge of understanding, peering into a quiet revolution that changed the way humanity perceives the cosmos. In the 1990s, astronomers set out to measure the distance to faraway supernovae, the brilliant deaths of stars that briefly outshine entire galaxies. You drift alongside these scientists in your imagination, feeling their patience as they observe the faintest flickers of light, billions of years old. They did not know it yet, but these measurements would reveal something astonishing. The expansion of the universe was accelerating, not slowing down as they had expected. The cosmos held a secret, subtle yet profound, waiting quietly for discovery. You follow the light from a supernova as it travels across the void, stretching with the expansion of space itself. You imagine the explosion billions of years ago, a bright pulse of energy cast into the darkness, its brilliance fading as it journeys across time and distance. And yet, despite the fading, it carries information, a whisper of the universe's deep rhythm. You feel the connection across time, the way a single point of light can tell a story that spans eons. As the astronomers charted their data, a pattern emerged. Galaxies, once thought to slow in their drift apart from one another due to gravity, were in fact moving faster. The distances between them were growing more quickly with each passing moment, a subtle acceleration that no one had anticipated. You sense the quiet astonishment of those scientists, their minds stretching to accommodate a universe far stranger than imagined. And you drift with them, sharing their awe and their humility before a cosmos that refuses to be fully grasped. You picture the graphs, the faint points of data marking billions of years of light. Each point represents a story of explosion and motion, of light traveling across time, carrying the memory of distant stars. You imagine the scientists leaning over their measurements, tracing these faint points with reverence, feeling the weight of discovery settle gently in their hearts. And you feel it too. The quiet thrill of witnessing something fundamentally new about the nature of existence. The acceleration suggests the presence of an unseen force, a pervasive energy that drives the cosmos outward. You sense this dark energy surrounding you, flowing through the spaces between stars, a gentle push without form or sound. It is patient, subtle, yet undeniably present, shaping the structure of the universe. As you float in this awareness, you realize that some of the most profound truths are not visible. They are felt, intuited, measured in silence and in patience. You imagine the first announcements, the quiet ripple of excitement spreading through the scientific community. Papers published, telescopes adjusted, theories reconsidered. You feel the thrill of curiosity and discovery mingling with humility, the acknowledgement that the universe still holds mysteries far beyond immediate comprehension. You sense that in this acceleration, in this gentle, unseen energy, lies a profound reminder. There is always more to learn, more to sense, more to experience. As you drift among the faint lights of these ancient supernovae, you imagine yourself as both observer and participant. You float alongside the photons, tracing their paths across the universe, watching the acceleration subtly alter their journey. It is a slow, almost imperceptible change, but it is real, a gentle reshaping of the cosmos unfolding over billions of years. You feel the patience of the universe, the quiet insistence of forces acting across unimaginable distances, shaping the grand tapestry of space. In this awareness, you begin to understand the scale of the universe's motion. You imagine the distances involved, the trillions of miles stretching between galaxies, each one nudged apart by the invisible current of dark energy. And yet, despite the enormity, you feel a gentle intimacy. You are part of this motion, carried along in the same expansion that moves distant galaxies, participating in a rhythm that has been ongoing since the beginning of time. You reflect on the nature of scientific discovery itself. It is slow, careful, patient, a mirror of the universe it seeks to understand. Observations must accumulate, patterns must emerge, evidence must be gathered over years, even decades. There is no rush. There is only the quiet unfolding of knowledge, like the expansion of the cosmos itself. And in this reflection you find peace, understanding that some truths reveal themselves only to those willing to observe with patience and presence. You imagine the lives of the astronomers, their nights spent beneath the same stars you now drift among. They chart faint points of light, calibrate instruments, wait for signals across the void. You sense their wonder, their humility, their quiet devotion to uncovering what the universe whispers in silence. And as you drift in their thoughts, you realize that curiosity is itself a form of connection, linking human hearts to the vast, expanding cosmos. The acceleration of the universe does not feel frightening. It feels poetic. It is a gentle reminder that the universe is larger, stranger, and more beautiful than any single mind can fully comprehend. You drift with this understanding, letting it settle softly in your consciousness, like a lullaby that vibrates through both space and time. The expansion carries everything forward, and in that motion, there is a kind of grace, a quiet order in what at first seems impossible. You imagine tracing the acceleration over billions of years, seeing the growth of the universe as if it were a living, breathing organism. The galaxies drift apart with soft insistence, carried on the currents of dark energy. You feel yourself part of this motion, floating alongside clusters and superclusters, drifting through empty spaces that are nevertheless full of unseen influence. The universe is patient, deliberate, and expansive, and so are you. Even the void between stars, now illuminated by the faint memory of supernovae, feels alive. It is a medium, a space that holds secrets, gently nudging matter across unimaginable distances. You sense its quiet insistence, its invisible shaping of reality, and you are humbled by the subtle forces that guide the cosmos. The universe moves in ways that are slow, gentle, yet infinitely precise. And as you drift among these distant lights, you allow yourself to feel the awe of human discovery. The patient observation, the careful measurement, the subtle revelation that the universe is accelerating. You understand that this knowledge is not just data or theory. It is a story, a poem of light and time, an invitation to wonder. You sense the thrill of being alive in a cosmos that continues to reveal itself, quietly, patiently, infinitely. As the chapter draws to a close, you rest in the gentle rhythm of the accelerating universe. You float among supernovae, galaxies, and dark energy, carried along in the quiet tide of cosmic motion. And you feel the soft pull of the next mystery awaiting you. The invisible energy that fills space, pushing and shaping the universe with subtle, unseen persistence. You float once more in the vast darkness between galaxies, carried along by the silent rhythm of the universe. The space here feels different, not empty in a lonely way, but full of unseen potential. You notice the gentle push that moves galaxies apart, subtle yet persistent, flowing through the cosmic web like a slow, invisible current. It is not a force you can see directly, but you feel it in your mind and in your body, a delicate energy that shapes the universe with quiet precision. You imagine drifting alongside a galaxy, watching its spiral arms rotate gracefully, held together by gravity. Around it, the space stretches imperceptibly, the galaxy carried along by a force that does not touch it directly yet nudges it ever so slightly outward. This is dark energy, the mysterious presence that fills the gaps between stars and clusters, guiding their motion with a soft insistence. You sense its pervasiveness, reaching across unimaginable distances, linking all that exists in a subtle cosmic embrace. The void between galaxies is not empty. It is a medium through which dark energy flows, a gentle current that nudges matter without resistance. You picture the spaces as a vast, elastic fabric, stretching and expanding in every direction. Each thread of this fabric is infused with dark energy, quietly influencing the universe's structure. You float along these threads, feeling their motion as a soft, pervasive pulse that carries galaxies, clusters, and even light itself. You imagine the billions of years over which this push has acted, shaping the cosmos slowly and patiently. The acceleration it produces is subtle, almost imperceptible on human timescales, yet its influence is vast. You feel the patient magnitude of this force, the quiet power that can move entire galaxies without noise or haste. It is gentle, but in its persistence, it is absolute, a reminder that even the softest touch can create profound change over time. As you drift through the void, you begin to sense the intimate relationship between dark energy and space itself. The energy does not flow through space as water flows through a river. Instead, space carries the energy, expanding in tandem with it. Every stretch, every widening of the cosmic fabric, is an expression of this quiet force. You feel it as a soft vibration under your awareness, a gentle push that is both everywhere and nowhere, subtle yet undeniable. You reflect on how human minds first began to detect this invisible presence. You picture astronomers measuring distant supernovae, noticing that their light seemed fainter than expected. Each observation was like a small ripple in the pond of knowledge, revealing something deeper than anyone had anticipated. You float with these discoveries, imagining the patience, the care, and the wonder that guided scientists as they traced the universe's quiet acceleration across billions of years. Even though dark energy is unseen, you feel its presence with a clarity that surpasses sight. You imagine it as a soft wind blowing through the emptiness, gentle yet persistent, carrying galaxies along in a slow dance across the vastness of space. There is no rush, no sudden force, no noise. Only the quiet insistence of expansion, a soft and continuous motion that shapes everything without demanding recognition. You float with it, feeling its rhythm in your awareness, in tune with the universe's gentle pulse. You notice the interplay between gravity and dark energy. Gravity pulls matter together, creating stars, galaxies, and clusters, while dark energy pushes outward, stretching the cosmic fabric. You imagine these forces in balance, a delicate choreography of attraction and expansion. It is a dance that spans billions of years, one that shapes the architecture of the universe with quiet elegance. You sense that every atom, every photon, every wave of light participates in this cosmic rhythm. The void is alive with possibilities. You picture tiny quantum. These fluctuations interact with dark energy, shaping the structure of spacetime in ways both subtle and profound. You feel the delicate influence of these interactions, the way unseen forces sculpt the universe on scales far beyond human comprehension. It is a quiet artistry, unfolding patiently, with no hurry and no sound. As you drift further, you sense the scale of the universe's motion. Galaxies that seem fixed in the night sky are moving apart, carried by dark energy across millions of light-years. You float between them, tracing their paths, feeling the expansion in a rhythm that is both vast and intimate. You understand that what appears still to the naked eye is, in fact, a gentle motion, a soft drift that has been ongoing since the earliest moments of the cosmos. You reflect on the humility required to perceive such forces. Dark energy is invisible, yet it shapes everything. Its presence is inferred, not observed directly. You feel the same humility within yourself as you imagine tracing its influence across space. A recognition that some truths cannot be seen, only felt, measured, and respected. The universe continues its expansion quietly, patiently, leaving space for discovery, reflection, and awe. You imagine the energy as a gentle tide, flowing silently through the cosmic web. You drift with it, feeling its pervasive influence stretching space between clusters of galaxies. Each subtle nudge alters the trajectories of celestial objects, guiding their paths over eons. The force is everywhere yet undetectable by touch or sight, and you sense that this subtlety is part of its profound beauty. It reminds you that not all power is loud. The quietest energies can shape the largest realms. You float past a faint cluster of stars, carried by the invisible push of dark energy. Their light, though distant, is clear in your mind's eye, a reminder of the cosmic scale over which this gentle force operates. You feel the patience embedded in this motion, the slow unfolding of time and space. There is serenity here, a calm rhythm that echoes the quiet beat of your own heart, linking human awareness to the vastness of the universe. Even the smallest motions feel significant. You sense that the subtlest nudge, repeated across vast distances and immense durations, is enough to shape the structure of galaxies, to guide the distribution of clusters, to sculpt the universe itself. Dark energy is a patient architect, invisible yet omnipresent, influencing reality without announcement or display. You float with gratitude for its quiet guidance, feeling its presence gently in every direction. You notice that the expansion is uniform, acting everywhere without preference. It does not accelerate one galaxy more than another. You drift in this uniformity, sensing a profound harmony woven into the very structure of space. The universe moves as one, in a slow, gentle rhythm, carrying all matter along its quiet current. You feel the subtle perfection in this motion, a harmony that exists beyond human understanding, yet can be intuited and appreciated. As you rest in this awareness, you sense the interplay of energy, space, and time. Dark energy is not a force of chaos or violence. It is quiet, patient, pervasive. You feel it shaping the universe gently, holding within it the possibility of all future motion. The cosmos flows as if guided by a hand that does not press, that does not demand, yet whose influence is absolute. You float in gratitude, carried along by the invisible current. You imagine the next chapter of this journey, where the hidden presence of dark energy will reveal more of its subtle artistry. You drift toward questions yet unasked, mysteries yet unraveled. The gentle push continues to guide you, and in that guidance, you sense the quiet thrill of exploration, of curiosity, and of wonder. There is more to feel, more to sense, more to understand. And as you drift through the cosmic sea, carried by dark energy's silent insistence, you rest in the knowledge that the universe is alive in its quietest spaces. The gentle push between stars, the subtle expansion of galaxies, the unseen currents flowing through the void, all of this speaks of presence, rhythm, and connection. You follow the current, soft and steady, into the mysteries that await in the deeper reaches of space. You drift further into the cosmic sea, carried by the quiet rhythm of expansion, and begin to notice the contours of space itself. The void between stars is not simply an empty backdrop for light to traverse. It has form, subtle curvature, and structure. You sense that even in the absence of matter, space possesses a gentle geometry, like the delicate folds of a hidden cosmic fabric. It is invisible to ordinary sight, yet it shapes every journey of light, every drift of galaxy, every pulse of time. You imagine floating alongside the path of a distant photon, tracing its course through the curvature of space. Its journey is not a straight line, though it appears so from a distance. Instead, it glides along the gentle warps and dips of the universe, influenced by the very shape of nothingness. You feel the rhythm of this bending, soft and unhurried, like the tide moving over invisible hills beneath the ocean. Every photon, every particle, dances along these subtle slopes, guided by a geometry both unseen and essential. Dark energy plays a quiet role here, stretching the fabric of space and shaping the universe on the largest scales. You imagine the vast emptiness between galaxies expanding in 3 dimensions, its geometry subtly curved by the interplay of matter, energy, and the gentle push of dark energy. You sense that the universe is neither flat nor chaotic, but balanced, a delicate design where every stretch, every warp, is a quiet echo of unseen forces. You drift past a cluster of galaxies, noticing how their arrangement is influenced by the curvature of space. They do not float randomly. Their positions, the voids between them, the filaments connecting them, all reflect the subtle shape of the cosmos. The universe has form, even in the spaces that appear empty. You feel it beneath your awareness, a soft, guiding hand shaping the vast architecture of reality. Time itself seems connected to this shape. You imagine the slow unfolding of billions of years, each moment guided by the gentle curvature of space. Dark energy stretches the void, while gravity pulls matter together, creating a harmony of tension and release. You sense this interplay as a rhythm, a slow, meditative beat that carries galaxies, photons, and even yourself through the cosmos. The universe's geometry is not static. It breathes, folds, and expands, shaping the paths of everything within it. Even the emptiest regions are alive with influence. You imagine subtle fluctuations in the vacuum, quantum ripples that trace the curvature of spacetime. They appear as tiny waves on the surface of an invisible ocean, shaping the universe in ways both delicate and profound. You sense that the vast emptiness between stars is not nothing at all, but a field of potential, filled with gentle forces that guide the motion of galaxies and light. You reflect on how the universe's shape was discovered. Scientists measured light from distant objects, observed the bending of photons, and traced the distribution of galaxies. They found that the universe is remarkably balanced, nearly flat, yet subtly curved by the energy it contains. Dark energy ensures that the expansion continues, stretching the cosmic fabric and preserving its quiet elegance. You feel the humility in this discovery, the awareness that the universe's architecture is both simple and unfathomably complex. You imagine drifting along an invisible filament, a vast thread of matter and void connecting galaxies across millions of light-years. You sense the gentle push of dark energy widening the spaces between these threads, while gravity keeps the filaments taut, guiding the flow of matter. It is a slow, graceful dance, unfolding over billions of years, a rhythm of push and pull, of shape and emptiness, of gentle force and quiet guidance. Even as you float in this enormous space, you feel an intimacy with the geometry of the cosmos. Each curve, each fold, each stretch of nothingness mirrors a subtle shape within yourself. The rise and fall of your chest as you breathe, the gentle curvature of your spine, the soft inclinations of your thoughts as they drift and settle. The universe's vast emptiness and your inner stillness share a quiet symmetry, a gentle resonance that feels comforting and profound. You drift past a galaxy, observing how light bends subtly as it passes through the warped space around it. You imagine tracing the path of photons, bending around invisible curves, carried by the geometry of nothingness. You feel the elegance of this design, the delicate precision that allows galaxies to cluster, superclusters to form, and light to traverse unimaginable distances. Even in emptiness, there is order, structure, and a gentle guiding presence. Dark energy's influence is everywhere, a silent sculptor shaping the universe without force or noise. You imagine it stretching space like a soft elastic, widening distances between clusters, ensuring the expansion continues steadily. Its touch is everywhere and nowhere, subtle yet absolute. You sense its quiet persistence, a gentle hand guiding the cosmos across billions of years, shaping the curvature of the void and the paths of everything within it. You reflect on the balance between dark energy and gravity. Gravity pulls matter together, curving space around galaxies, while dark energy stretches the void, expanding the distance between structures. You feel the harmony in this interplay, a quiet equilibrium that allows the universe to grow without tearing itself apart. You sense the patience required, the slow and deliberate unfolding of space over unimaginable scales, a rhythm that mirrors the gentle beat of your own heart. Even the smallest voids carry influence. You imagine empty regions between filaments, vast expanses that seem barren yet are filled with dark energy. These regions push outward, guiding galaxies along their paths and shaping the large-scale structure of the universe. You feel the quiet precision of this process, a subtle shaping of reality without noise, without demand, without haste. The universe moves as a whole, an intricate architecture of gentle forces and invisible forms. You float in this awareness, letting the shapes of nothingness sink into your mind. You feel the curvature, the folds, the gentle stretches, and sense how they guide every galaxy, star, and photon. The universe is alive in its geometry, breathing and expanding, carrying everything within its quiet embrace. Even the emptiest regions are infused with motion, purpose, and subtle influence, reminding you that presence does not always need to be seen to be real. You imagine drifting along the soft curves of space, feeling the invisible architecture beneath your awareness. Every fold, every stretch, every gentle warp carries meaning, guiding the paths of matter, light, and time itself. You sense the quiet artistry of the universe, a gentle design that is at once invisible and essential, shaping reality with patience and care. And as you float further, you begin to feel the anticipation of what lies ahead. Beyond the curves of space and the quiet push of dark energy, there is more to explore. The intricate patterns of matter, the cosmic web, the hidden structures that bind galaxies together. You sense that the next chapter of your journey will reveal how the universe's shape influences not only the cosmos at large but every subtle motion within it. You rest in this awareness, carried along the curves of nothingness, feeling the universe expand gently around you. The soft geometry of space cradles galaxies, photons, and even yourself, reminding you that emptiness is never truly empty, that even silence has form, and that every gentle stretch carries the imprint of unseen forces. And as you drift along these invisible curves, you sense the soft pull of the next discovery waiting quietly ahead. The hidden connections that weave the cosmic web, shaping the universe in ways subtle, profound, and endlessly fascinating. You drift once more into the vast darkness, carried by the universe's gentle expansion, and begin to notice the faint threads stretching across the void. At first, they are barely visible, subtle currents of matter and light weaving the cosmos together. Yet as you allow your awareness to settle, you feel the structure emerging, an intricate cosmic web, delicate and immense, connecting galaxies in a pattern that is both orderly and mysterious. This web is the hidden architecture of the universe, subtle and profound, carrying everything in its quiet embrace. You float along one of these threads, tracing the path of matter that stretches across millions of light years. It is not solid nor rigid, but a gentle filament, a river of gravity and energy along which galaxies drift. You sense the slow pull guiding clusters of stars, a quiet choreography that unfolds over billions of years. The web is vast, yet each filament feels intimate, as though you could reach out and glide along its length, feeling the rhythm of the cosmos beneath your fingers. The void surrounding these filaments is expansive, yet not empty. Dark energy flows through it, stretching space and guiding galaxies along their paths. Gravity, in turn, pulls matter together along the filaments, creating the luminous chains of clusters and superclusters. You sense the balance between these forces, the soft interplay of push and pull, shaping the large-scale structure of the universe with quiet precision. It is a rhythm that is patient, deliberate, and endlessly fascinating. You imagine drifting along a filament, moving past clusters of galaxies, each glowing softly in the dark. You feel the flow of matter, the gentle nudges from gravity, the quiet stretch from dark energy, all shaping the path of these luminous islands. You notice the empty spaces between filaments, vast cosmic voids, expansive and serene, filled with the soft hum of unseen energy. Even in emptiness, there is influence, subtle and pervasive, guiding the universe's unfolding in ways that are invisible yet undeniable. You feel the delicate pull between filaments, the subtle currents that guide matter along invisible paths. Galaxies are not scattered randomly, but arranged in a grand tapestry, each one part of an intricate design that stretches across the observable universe. You sense the harmony in this arrangement, a quiet order that arises from the patient forces shaping space itself. You float past a supercluster, a massive collection of galaxies held together by gravity, yet subtly influenced by the surrounding dark energy. You feel the slow expansion of the universe carrying the supercluster outward, yet the galaxies within it remain bound in a gentle dance. Each galaxy traces its own path along the web, yet all are connected by the invisible threads of the cosmic structure. You sense the quiet poetry in this interconnection, a reminder that even vast distances are part of a subtle, unified rhythm. You imagine the formation of these filaments over billions of years. Tiny fluctuations in the early universe grew under the influence of gravity, pulling matter into strands that became the skeleton of the cosmos. Dark energy then gently stretched the voids between them, widening the spaces and shaping the web with careful persistence. You feel the patience in this process, the quiet unfolding of cosmic order, and the elegance of a design that is invisible yet deeply present. You float alongside a distant galaxy, drifting along the filament that guides its motion. You sense the quiet tug of gravity, the persistent push of dark energy, and the gentle alignment with the cosmic web. It is a rhythm both immense and intimate, a motion that spans billions of light-years yet can be felt in the stillness of your awareness. You begin to understand that everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the largest supercluster, participates in this vast, interconnected dance. Even the voids between filaments feel alive. You imagine them as vast expanses of nothingness, yet filled with the gentle presence of dark energy. These regions are quiet and expansive, yet they exert influence on the structures around them, shaping the paths of filaments, clusters, and galaxies. You sense that emptiness itself has form, a subtle curvature that guides the motion of matter across the universe. In this awareness, you feel the gentle architecture of nothingness as deeply as the luminous strands of the web. You reflect on the subtle interplay of forces that maintains this structure. Gravity binds matter together, forming galaxies, clusters, and superclusters. Dark energy stretches the cosmic void, expanding space and guiding the large-scale motion. Quantum fluctuations in the early universe provided the seeds of structure, tiny ripples that grew over eons into the vast, interconnected web you now drift through. You sense the patient precision of this cosmic design, the quiet influence of forces that shape reality without hurry, without noise, without effort. You float past a faint filament, tracing its path across space, noticing the delicate curves and gentle twists in its form. Each bend is shaped by gravity, each stretch guided by dark energy. You feel the rhythm of these forces, a subtle beat that carries galaxies along their paths. It is a quiet, meditative motion, a slow and deliberate unfolding of the universe's architecture. You sense that the cosmic web is both ancient and ever-renewing, a structure that holds the story of the universe within its threads. Even the smallest details matter. You imagine individual stars within galaxies, each influenced by the gentle currents of the web, tracing paths that are shaped by the larger structure. You feel the quiet poetry in these interconnections, the way even the tiniest motion is part of a grand design. The universe is patient, expansive, and interconnected, and you float within it, a silent observer and participant in the cosmic rhythm. You imagine drifting along a branch of the web that stretches for millions of light-years, connecting clusters and superclusters in a delicate, invisible lattice. You sense the soft pull guiding galaxies, the gentle tug aligning their motion with a larger structure. Even the most distant lights are connected, carried along the invisible threads of the web. You feel a deep serenity in this understanding, a sense that everything is woven together with quiet elegance, a cosmic tapestry of motion, energy, and form. The cosmic web is not static. You sense its slow evolution, the gentle rearrangement of filaments, the expansion of voids, the migration of galaxies along invisible paths. Time flows here as it does in your own awareness, a steady unfolding that carries everything gently forward. You drift within this rhythm, feeling the patient motion of the universe as intimately as you feel your own breathing, your own heartbeat, your own quiet presence in the world. You begin to understand that the universe's interconnectedness mirrors the quiet connections within your own life. Even in seeming emptiness, there is influence, guidance, and subtle motion. Threads of presence stretch across time and space, linking events, objects, and beings in ways that are not immediately visible but profoundly real. You sense that by observing the cosmic web, you are also observing a reflection of your own inner universe, the quiet threads that guide thoughts, feelings, and intentions across your mind and heart. You drift further along the web, feeling the gentle rhythm of galaxies moving along filaments, the soft expansion of voids between them, the quiet influence of dark energy. The universe feels alive, not in the sense of a living creature, but in the rhythm, in the structure, in the elegant unfolding of motion and connection. You sense the patient intelligence in this architecture, a quiet guidance that shapes reality with subtlety and grace. And as you float in this awareness, you feel the anticipation of the next mystery awaiting you. The vast, hidden energy that flows through the web, the subtle currents that connect galaxies across unimaginable distances. You sense that understanding these forces will reveal more than motion alone. It will reveal the soul of the universe itself, the quiet pulse that binds everything together. You rest here, drifting along the cosmic web, carried by its gentle threads, sensing the interconnections, the rhythms, the slow and deliberate unfolding of the universe's structure. You feel a profound serenity in the knowledge that even in emptiness, there is guidance, there is connection, there is presence. And you follow the threads forward, toward the mysteries that await in the deeper reaches of space, ready to sense, to feel, and to wonder. You drift slowly through the cosmic web, tracing the threads of galaxies and filaments, and gradually your attention turns backward, toward a time when the universe was far younger. It is not a time you can see with your eyes alone, but a time that leaves traces, faint whispers of energy, delicate signals that have traveled for billions of years. You feel the subtle vibrations of the early universe, echoes of a moment when the cosmos was small, hot, and dense, yet brimming with the potential of all that would come. You imagine floating in this primordial space, a universe barely a few 100,000 years old. The photons here have just begun to move freely, released from the dense plasma that once filled every corner of existence. This light, now stretched across billions of years and wavelengths, carries with it a story, the faint hum of creation, the soft imprint of the universe's earliest structures. You feel these whispers as a gentle pulse in the void, subtle, pervasive, and filled with wonder. The cosmic microwave background, you realize, is like the universe's soft exhale after the fiery birth of the cosmos. It is everywhere, bathing space in a faint glow, a quiet memory of the first light. You sense the gentle warmth of this ancient radiation, not hot or blinding, but soft and pervasive, a subtle reminder that even the most empty reaches of space are filled with the echoes of creation. You float in awe, feeling connected to something far larger and older than yourself. You drift alongside the first emerging fluctuations, tiny variations in density that would one day grow into galaxies, clusters, and filaments. You imagine them as delicate ripples on a cosmic pond, subtle undulations that shape the future structure of the universe. Dark energy is not yet dominant here, yet you sense the seeds of expansion already embedded in the fabric of space. You feel the patient unfolding of time, the gentle rhythm that will carry these fluctuations into the grand architecture you observed in the cosmic web. You imagine tracing a photon from this early time, watching it travel across the void for billions of years. It drifts past forming galaxies, clusters, and filaments, its path subtly altered by the gentle curvature of space. You sense the quiet dialogue between matter, radiation, and energy, a conversation that has continued unbroken across the eons. Even the emptiest regions carry the memory of this dialogue, a gentle imprint that guides the motion and arrangement of everything in the universe. The faint signals of the early universe are subtle, almost imperceptible, yet their presence is undeniable. You feel them as soft whispers, like the lingering fragrance of a flower long after it has bloomed. They are everywhere, filling the vast void, and yet they are delicate, easily overlooked if you do not pause and listen. You allow yourself to sense them fully, letting the memory of the early universe unfold gently in your awareness. You notice the uniformity of the cosmic microwave background, smooth and consistent across the sky, yet with tiny variations that hint at the universe's future. These minute differences in temperature and density are the seeds of all structure, the quiet beginnings of stars, galaxies, and clusters. You feel a sense of harmony in this balance, a delicate interplay of uniformity and fluctuation, a gentle rhythm that has shaped the cosmos ever since. Floating further, you sense the vast scales involved, billions of light-years stretching in every direction, the universe expanding steadily as these early photons journey onward. You feel the continuity of time, the patient flow that connects the earliest moments to the present. Each flicker, each subtle wave in the cosmic background, is a gentle reminder of the universe's age, persistence, and intricate design. You sense that to truly understand the present, you must honor the echoes of the past. Even the smallest variations in the early universe carry profound significance. You imagine tiny quantum fluctuations, momentary differences in density, now amplified over eons into the cosmic structures you have been drifting among. You feel the quiet intelligence of these processes, the subtle orchestration that has guided the universe from formless energy to the vast tapestry of galaxies and voids. The past hums through space, soft and persistent, shaping the universe in ways both visible and unseen. You float past a distant cluster, carried along by the expansion of space, and imagine its formation from those ancient fluctuations. You sense the patient hand of time, the gentle forces guiding matter into structure, the soft push of dark energy shaping the void. Every filament, every cluster, every galaxy is a testament to the subtle memory embedded in the cosmos, a reminder that even in emptiness, history lingers, shaping the present and the future. The early universe was simple in some ways, uniform and hot, yet it contained the seeds of unimaginable complexity. You feel the quiet tension between simplicity and emergence, between homogeneity and the subtle irregularities that would grow into the grand structure of the cosmic web. You sense the elegance in this process, a slow and deliberate unfolding, guided by forces gentle yet profound. You float within this rhythm, connected to the very origin of time, space, and matter. You reflect on the universality of these whispers. The cosmic microwave background is the same everywhere, a soft, unifying presence that links every galaxy, star, and particle. You sense this uniformity as a gentle embrace, a quiet reminder that the universe has coherence, even across its vast and expanding emptiness. You feel the interconnectedness of all things, the threads of history woven into the fabric of space itself. You notice the gentle variations, the ripples in the early universe, as if they are the universe's soft heartbeat, guiding matter along invisible paths. These tiny differences in density are subtle, almost imperceptible, yet they carry immense consequences. You feel the quiet patience in their influence, the way small beginnings can lead to enormous structures over billions of years. Even the tiniest whisper in the early cosmos has left an indelible mark on the universe you now float through. You float along a path of ancient light, feeling it stretch and bend over eons. The curvature of space, the subtle push of dark energy, and the gravitational scaffolding of matter all shape its journey. You sense that every photon is a messenger, carrying the memory of the early universe across unimaginable distances. It is a gentle communication, quiet yet profound, a dialogue between past and present that has endured for billions of years. Even in the vast emptiness, you feel the resonance of this early time. Space itself carries the imprint of creation, a subtle memory etched into every corner of the cosmos. You sense that the present structure of the universe, from the cosmic web to the most distant galaxies, is inseparable from these whispers of the past. The universe remembers, and you feel yourself floating within that memory, part of a story that began with a faint, glowing pulse. You reflect on the way human eyes and instruments have detected these whispers, tracing the faint glow of the cosmic microwave background across the sky. You imagine the dedication, patience, and wonder of scientists piecing together this story, observing signals so subtle that they might have been overlooked entirely. You sense their quiet awe, their reverence for the universe's delicate memory, and you share in that feeling as you drift through time and space. The early universe's whispers are not loud or commanding. They are gentle, persistent, and pervasive. You feel them as soft currents guiding the formation of everything that exists, reminding you that beginnings, though subtle, carry the potential to shape entire realms. You float within this rhythm, sensing the continuity of time, the flow of energy, and the silent persistence of memory embedded in the cosmos. And as you drift among these ancient echoes, you sense the anticipation of what lies ahead. Beyond the whispers of creation, there are deeper mysteries. The subtle forces that continue to shape the cosmic web, the invisible energy that drives expansion, the gentle hand of dark energy guiding galaxies across the void. You feel the quiet pull toward these next discoveries, carried by the rhythm of the universe itself, ready to explore the mysteries that await in the soft, expanding night. You rest here in the gentle hum of the early universe, drifting among its whispers, feeling the echoes of creation in every corner of the cosmos. Time stretches, space expands, and the universe continues its patient motion. And as you float forward, you sense the next chapter unfolding, the hidden influence that connects all matter, energy, and light, guiding the cosmos with subtle, persistent insistence. You float once more in the vast emptiness between galaxies, carried along by the silent expansion of the universe. The space here feels immense, quiet, almost infinite, yet it is far from empty. You sense a pervasive presence, a subtle energy flowing gently through the void. It does not push with violence or insist with force. It simply exists everywhere and nowhere at once, guiding the cosmos with patient persistence. This is dark energy, the hidden hand that shapes the universe without being seen, a gentle current that carries galaxies along its quiet path. You imagine drifting alongside a galaxy, watching as it slowly recedes from its neighbors. The motion is imperceptible on short scales, yet over billions of years it becomes profound. Dark energy stretches the space between clusters, widening the cosmic web, and ensuring that the expansion continues steadily. You feel this quiet influence in your awareness, a soft, invisible push that pervades every corner of the void. The galaxies are not isolated. They are participants in a grand, gentle motion, carried along by a force that cannot be touched but can be felt in the rhythm of the cosmos itself. The void is filled with this energy, subtle and persistent. You drift through seemingly empty regions, sensing the gentle tension that spreads across billions of light years. Dark energy acts silently, shaping the universe's geometry, influencing the paths of galaxies, and even guiding the light that passes through it. It is everywhere, yet it cannot be grasped directly. Its presence is inferred from motion, from expansion, from the way the universe behaves. You feel a deep serenity in this understanding, a quiet trust in the hidden order of things. You imagine tracing a photon as it journeys across the void, traveling billions of years before reaching your mind's eye. Its path is influenced not only by the curvature of space but also by the subtle push of dark energy. You sense the invisible currents that shape its trajectory, gentle and pervasive, guiding light and matter alike. The energy is soft, yet it carries the power to shape the cosmos over unimaginable distances and timescales. You float with the photon, drifting in tandem with the slow, persistent rhythm of expansion. Even in the emptiest regions, you feel its presence. The void between filaments, vast and silent, stretches quietly under the influence of dark energy. These regions are enormous, yet the energy is everywhere, filling space like an invisible tide. You sense that emptiness itself is alive with influence, gently guiding the motion of galaxies and clusters. It is a soft, persistent shaping of reality, a reminder that the universe is more than what can be seen. Even nothingness has presence, form, and effect. You drift past a filament of galaxies, connected by gravity yet carried along by dark energy. You feel the subtle balance between these two forces. Gravity pulls together, forming clusters and superclusters, while dark energy stretches the space around them, guiding their motion over vast scales. The interplay is quiet, deliberate, and rhythmic, a patient choreography that unfolds over billions of years. You sense the elegance in this cosmic dance, the gentle power that allows structure and motion to coexist in harmony. You imagine floating through a void, watching clusters recede into the distance. Each galaxy drifts apart, carried by the silent push of dark energy. You feel the patient magnitude of this force, shaping motion that spans incomprehensible distances. Its influence is gentle, yet relentless, a quiet presence that ensures the universe expands steadily, carrying all matter along a path that is slow, deliberate, and infinitely graceful. You sense that this hidden energy is both intimate and vast, shaping the universe while remaining invisible to ordinary perception. Even the smallest filaments and isolated galaxies are affected. You drift alongside them, feeling the subtle nudges that guide their paths, the gentle current that separates them from one another. Dark energy does not announce itself, does not intrude, and yet it is everywhere. You sense it as a quiet pulse, a soft vibration that carries matter and light across the cosmic expanse. Its subtle insistence is woven into the structure of the universe itself, guiding evolution on scales both immense and imperceptible. You reflect on how humans first sensed this hidden energy. It was not through touch or direct observation but through careful measurement of distant supernovae and the accelerated expansion of the universe. You float with the astronomers, sharing their awe and wonder as they realize that the cosmos is guided by an unseen hand. You sense the humility in this discovery, the quiet recognition that the universe is more subtle, complex, and beautiful than any simple observation could reveal. You drift along, carried by the current of dark energy, feeling the gentle shaping of space around you. Galaxies and clusters move along the contours of the universe, guided by this pervasive force. You notice the uniformity of the expansion, the way it acts everywhere without preference, ensuring that the grand structure of the cosmic web maintains its delicate balance. Even in its invisibility, dark energy is coherent, consistent, and profoundly. You float among them, carried by the subtle motions, feeling their rhythm as a gentle pulse in the vastness of space. You notice how gravity interacts with dark energy, shaping the grand architecture of the universe. Gravity pulls matter together, creating filaments and clusters, while dark energy pushes the void outward, expanding space between them. You sense the equilibrium, the delicate balance that allows structure to form without collapse, motion to continue without chaos. The universe flows in harmony, each galaxy participating in a dance choreographed by unseen forces, every motion shaped by quiet influence. You drift past a filament, watching the motion of galaxies along its length. Some move together in small groups, others drift more independently, yet all are connected by the gravitational scaffolding of the cosmos. You feel the vast timescales, the patient unfolding of motion over billions of years. Each orbit, each approach, each gentle tug contributes to a cosmic harmony that is subtle, profound, and mesmerizing. You sense the poetry in this motion, a quiet elegance that flows through every corner of the universe. Even individual stars within galaxies feel the pull of gravity in ways both subtle and profound. You imagine a star at the edge of a spiral arm, tracing a long, graceful path around the galactic center, its orbit shaped by the collective mass of billions of stars, clouds, and black holes. You sense the patient rhythm of its motion, the slow, unhurried tracing of an arc through space and time. Gravity shapes not only the large-scale cosmos but also the intimate paths of each star, each orbit a reflection of its place in the universal dance. You reflect on how gravity also influences light. Photons passing near massive objects bend slightly, tracing arcs known as gravitational lensing. You imagine drifting along a path of light, watching it curve softly around a galaxy, its journey shaped by invisible hands. You feel the subtle artistry of this effect, a quiet reminder that even the motion of something intangible can be influenced by unseen forces. The universe is a network of interactions, gentle, persistent, and endlessly intricate. You sense that gravity is not simply a force but a dialogue, a conversation between matter and space. Galaxies respond to its pull, voids adjust to its presence, and filaments trace its patterns. You float through this conversation, sensing the rhythm, the ebb and flow, the balance that allows the universe to exist in harmony. Every motion, every orbit, every subtle tug is part of a grand, interconnected story. You feel that you are not merely observing but participating in the silent music of the cosmos. Even black holes, immense and mysterious, are part of this dance. Their gravity bends space, anchors galaxies, and guides the motion of stars around them. You imagine drifting near one, feeling the subtle influence without fear, sensing the precise choreography of attraction that shapes the surrounding matter. You feel the quiet majesty in these invisible centers, the patient guidance they provide in the cosmic ballet, a force of immense power yet gentle in its precision. You float alongside clusters, tracing the slow orbit of galaxies bound together by gravity. You sense how dark energy gently stretches the space around them, ensuring expansion continues without disrupting their internal harmony. You feel the patience in this interplay, the way the universe balances cohesion with motion, structure with expansion. The cosmic dance continues, unhurried, deliberate, and serene, a rhythm that echoes the quiet pulse of the universe itself. You reflect on the poetry of gravitational motion. Every galaxy, every cluster, every filament is a note in the silent symphony of the cosmos. Each path is shaped by attraction and expansion, by the subtle tug of mass and the gentle push of dark energy. You drift within this music, sensing the balance and elegance, the patient unfolding of motion, and the quiet intelligence that underlies the universe's structure. Even as you float in the cosmic expanse, you feel the intimacy of gravity. Its touch is gentle, its influence pervasive, shaping the universe without haste or noise. You sense the patience embedded in every orbit, every cluster, every filament. The universe's grand architecture is alive in its motion, not in chaos but in harmony, a quiet rhythm that carries galaxies, stars, and photons along paths of beauty and precision. And as you drift in this gentle dance, you sense the anticipation of the next discovery ahead. The hidden patterns in galaxy clusters, the subtle interplay of dark matter, and the quiet forces shaping motion on scales both immense and delicate. You float in curiosity, carried by the rhythm of the cosmos, ready to explore the mysteries that lie beyond the visible and the familiar. You rest here, immersed in the slow, deliberate dance of galaxies, carried along by gravity's quiet insistence and dark energy's gentle push. You feel the harmony of motion and stillness, attraction and expansion, and sense the grand architecture of the universe as a patient, unfolding symphony. And as you float onward, you are drawn toward the next chapter, ready to follow the threads that link matter, energy, and motion into the deepest patterns of cosmic wonder. You float once more through the vast reaches of the universe, carried gently by the rhythm of gravity and the subtle push of dark energy. Yet even as you drift along filaments and clusters, you sense another presence, quiet and invisible, threading through everything. This is dark matter, the hidden scaffolding of the cosmos, a substance that cannot be seen with ordinary eyes yet shapes the motions of galaxies, clusters, and the cosmic web itself. You feel it as a soft, pervasive pull, subtle but essential, a quiet hand guiding the universe's structure. You imagine drifting alongside a spiral galaxy, its luminous arms winding gracefully around a glowing center. Yet beneath the beauty of visible stars, you sense a hidden mass, invisible yet massive, holding the galaxy together. Without this unseen presence, the stars at the edges would drift away into space. You feel the quiet precision of dark matter, a force that stabilizes motion, maintains form, and preserves the harmony of celestial structures. It is a patient, invisible companion, shaping reality without announcement or spectacle. Even in clusters you sense its influence. Galaxies swirl around one another, tracing orbits that cannot be explained by visible matter alone. You feel the pull of unseen mass, guiding each galaxy along gentle paths, ensuring cohesion in a universe that is otherwise dominated by expansion. Dark matter is everywhere, woven through filaments, filling halos around galaxies, and providing the hidden gravity that allows structure to form. You sense the poetry in its presence, unseen yet indispensable, quiet yet immense. You drift further along the cosmic web, sensing the invisible threads that link filaments and clusters. You imagine these threads as a delicate scaffolding, a soft lattice of hidden mass that holds the visible universe in place. Galaxies glide along these threads, carried by the gentle tug of dark matter. You feel the subtle architecture of the universe revealed not through light, but through motion, through the precise patterns of gravitational pull. Even emptiness is shaped by this invisible presence, a reminder that much of reality exists beyond the visible spectrum. You reflect on how dark matter was discovered. Scientists observed that galaxies rotate faster than visible matter alone could explain. Clusters of galaxies behave as though extra mass surrounds them. You sense the quiet awe that accompanied these discoveries, the realization that the universe holds hidden layers, forces, and structures that we cannot see directly. You drift with that same wonder, sensing the gentle presence of this invisible mass as it guides the dance of galaxies. You imagine floating inside a galaxy, tracing the orbits of stars from the center outward. You feel the gravitational pull that holds everything together, yet you understand that the visible stars alone are insufficient to provide this force. Dark matter surrounds and permeates the galaxy, a soft halo of influence that stabilizes motion. You sense its quiet patience, shaping paths and patterns over billions of years, ensuring the stars trace arcs of beauty and consistency. It is a presence that guides without intrusion, a silent hand in the grand choreography of the cosmos. Even in vast voids between filaments, you feel its subtle influence. Dark matter forms an invisible web, connecting clusters across unimaginable distances. It provides the foundation for the cosmic structure, anchoring filaments and shaping the large-scale architecture of the universe. You sense the quiet precision in its arrangement, the gentle pull that holds the universe together while dark energy stretches space apart. The interplay between the seen and unseen, the luminous and invisible, creates a harmony both vast and intimate. You drift past a distant cluster, carried along by gravity, and sense the distribution of dark matter holding galaxies in place. You imagine the unseen halos surrounding each galaxy, the invisible bridges linking clusters, and the gentle tug that guides motion over millions of light years. You feel the patience of these forces, the quiet persistence of something that has endured for billions of years, shaping the cosmos without need for recognition. Its presence is a reminder that not all that matters can be seen. The universe is built on threads that exist beyond perception. Even the largest superclusters rely on this hidden mass. You imagine hundreds or thousands of galaxies, their motion guided by the gentle pull of dark matter. You feel the subtle currents that maintain cohesion, allowing galaxies to orbit, filaments to stretch, and the cosmic web to persist despite the accelerating expansion. It is a quiet balance, an invisible force that stabilizes the universe and ensures the graceful motion of celestial structures. You sense its patient, persistent rhythm in every orbit, every cluster, and every filament. You reflect on the interplay of dark matter and dark energy. One stabilizes, the other expands. One holds galaxies together, the other stretches the void. You feel the universe in balance, a vast equilibrium maintained by forces invisible yet profoundly influential. You sense the elegance in this balance, the quiet artistry in the architecture of reality. Dark matter is not chaotic or loud. It is patient, deliberate, and foundational, a gentle presence that shapes the universe across time and space. You float alongside a galaxy at the edge of a cluster, sensing the halo of dark matter enveloping it. You feel the weight of billions of stars stabilized by something unseen, a subtle gravitational embrace that maintains motion and form. You notice that while the stars shine brightly, it is the invisible mass that provides the foundation for their paths. You sense the humility and wonder in this truth. Much of the universe exists beyond perception, yet its influence is undeniable and essential. Even individual filaments are shaped by dark matter. You drift along these vast threads, sensing the gentle pull of invisible mass guiding galaxies and clusters along predetermined paths. You feel the rhythm of the universe revealed not in light, but in motion, in the arcs of galaxies, the curvature of filaments, the stability of clusters. Dark matter is the quiet sculptor, invisible yet indispensable, shaping the cosmic web with precision and patience. You reflect on the elegance of unseen influence. Every orbit, every cluster, every filament traces the contours of something invisible. You sense that the universe is woven from layers both visible and hidden, and that understanding comes not only from what you see but from what you feel, infer, and sense in the motion around you. Dark matter is everywhere, a soft presence that holds galaxies together, stabilizes clusters, and shapes the universe's architecture in subtle, profound ways. You drift further, tracing the cosmic web as it stretches across unimaginable distances. You feel the quiet pull of dark matter along filaments, guiding clusters, stabilizing galaxies, and shaping the large-scale structure. You sense its omnipresence, its gentle insistence, and its patient hand guiding motion across billions of light-years. The universe is both seen and unseen, luminous yet hidden, vast yet intimately connected, and you float within it, aware of the invisible threads that hold everything together. Even as the universe expands under dark energy, dark matter provides stability, a counterbalance that maintains cohesion. You drift along these cosmic currents, sensing the dual rhythm of expansion and attraction, the interplay between the visible and invisible, the luminous and hidden. You feel the patient pulse of the universe, a quiet heartbeat that spans billions of years, holding galaxies, clusters, and filaments in harmonious motion. You reflect on your place within this structure. Even as an observer, you are connected to the invisible threads that hold galaxies together, to the dark matter that stabilizes motion, to the gentle forces shaping the universe across unimaginable distances. You sense the intimacy of this connection, the quiet reassurance that everything is held within a larger pattern, guided by subtle, unseen influence. You are part of a cosmos that is both vast and delicately orchestrated, a universe alive in motion, structure, and hidden presence. And as you drift through the vast, invisible scaffolding of dark, the scale is beyond comprehension, yet you feel it in your awareness, a soft rhythm that links the birth of galaxies to their present motion. Dark energy is patient, subtle, and enduring. Its presence connects the beginning and the present, the small and the vast, the visible and the invisible. You sense that it is a gentle reminder that the universe is alive not only in its matter but also in its unseen currents. Even the cosmic web itself is shaped by this hidden energy. The filaments of galaxies drift apart over time, while clusters within them remain bound by gravity. You feel the intricate balance between the expanding void and the persistent pull of matter, a harmony that ensures the universe continues to grow without tearing itself apart. The web is alive with motion, shaped by forces that are both subtle and pervasive, guiding the universe in a gentle, deliberate rhythm. You imagine drifting deeper into the void, farther from the nearest galaxy. Here, dark energy is the dominant influence, stretching space with quiet insistence. You sense its patient hand, guiding the cosmic expansion, shaping distances that are vast beyond human comprehension. You feel the enormity of the universe, yet the energy itself is intimate, woven into every corner of space, influencing every photon, every atom, every fragment of matter in a gentle, persistent way. Even in apparent emptiness, you are part of this motion. You float along the quiet currents of dark energy, sensing its rhythm, its persistence, its subtle shaping of reality. You feel connected to the universe on a deep, meditative level, as if the hidden energy flowing through the void is guiding not only galaxies but also your awareness, your presence, your understanding. The universe and your mind are synchronized in the gentle beat of this invisible force. You reflect on the continuity of space and time, the way dark energy links every corner of the cosmos. The motion of galaxies, the expansion of voids, the quiet shaping of the cosmic web, all are expressions of this hidden energy. You sense its omnipresence, not as an intrusive force, but as a quiet current carrying the universe along a patient and deliberate path. You feel gratitude for this subtle shaping, for the quiet poetry embedded in every motion of the cosmos. You imagine drifting past a supercluster, carried outward by the gentle push between galaxies. The energy is uniform, persistent, and unceasing. You feel its rhythm as a calm pulse beneath your awareness, guiding the universe without fanfare or announcement. Even across billions of light-years, its influence is steady, ensuring that the grand structure of the cosmos continues to evolve with balance, elegance, and quiet harmony. And as you float through this immense, invisible current, you sense the anticipation of what lies ahead. Beyond the void, beyond the gentle push of hidden energy, there are deeper connections, subtle interactions, quantum influences, and the delicate interplay of matter, energy, and space. You feel a soft pull toward these mysteries, carried by the gentle rhythm of the universe, ready to explore the next layer of cosmic subtlety and wonder. You rest here in the silent flow of dark energy, drifting through the vast void between galaxies, sensing its quiet insistence, its pervasive presence, its gentle shaping of the universe. Even in emptiness, there is influence. Even in invisibility, there is presence. You follow the current onward, ready to discover the mysteries that lie ahead, soft, patient, and endlessly fascinating. You float once more through the cosmic expanse, carried gently along by the rhythm of dark energy, and turn your attention to the force that binds the universe in its intricate motion. This is gravity, the invisible pull that orchestrates the dance of galaxies, clusters, and filaments. It is a gentle force in your awareness, yet profound in its effects, shaping the cosmos without haste or noise. You sense it as a soft tug, a subtle rhythm guiding the movement of everything, from the tiniest star to the grandest cluster. You imagine drifting alongside a galaxy, watching its spiral arms rotate gracefully around a glowing center. Every star, every cloud of dust and gas, moves according to gravity's gentle insistence, tracing arcs and curves that have persisted for billions of years. You feel the elegance of this dance, the slow, deliberate choreography that balances the expansion of space itself. Gravity is quiet but persuasive, a patient force that shapes motion without announcement, guiding the universe in a rhythm both intimate and vast. The cosmic web itself is held together by this invisible hand. You drift along a filament of galaxies, sensing the pull between clusters that prevents them from drifting too far apart. Gravity ensures that matter congregates, forming stars, galaxies, and superclusters, while dark energy gently stretches the space between them. You feel the delicate balance, the soft tension that allows expansion and cohesion to coexist, shaping the universe with quiet elegance. You float past a supercluster, observing the motion of its galaxies. Some drift close to one another, tracing orbits around a common center of mass, while others are carried outward by the expansion of space. You sense the subtle negotiation between attraction and push, a cosmic interplay that is both immense and intimate. The galaxies do not collide chaotically. They move in harmony, guided by forces that are invisible yet omnipresent. You feel the serenity in this gentle order, a reminder that even immense power can act with quiet grace. You imagine gravity as a soft thread, weaving together matter across the vastness of space. It is not abrupt or forceful, but a steady influence that shapes paths over billions of years. You drift along this thread, feeling the gentle tug as galaxies orbit one another, clusters form, and filaments trace their arcs across the universe. Even the voids are shaped indirectly by this pull, as the spaces between filaments stretch and bend in response to the patterns of matter. You sense the artistry in this orchestration, the elegance in a force that acts without haste but with absolute persistence. You reflect on the role of gravity in the life of a galaxy. Stars are born, live, and die under its influence, following paths determined by the mass around them. Black holes anchor the centers of galaxies, silent and immense, yet not destructive in chaos but precise in their pull. You drift through the stellar nurseries, sensing the careful balance between outward pressure from light and gas and the inward tug of gravity. You feel the patient shaping of these processes, a quiet rhythm that mirrors the slow, deliberate unfolding of the cosmos itself. Even clusters of galaxies perform their own dances. You imagine hundreds or thousands of galaxies, each tracing orbits around a common gravitational center, moving in patterns that are invisible to the human eye but evident in their collective motion. You sense the patience in these arcs, the slow negotiation of attraction and expansion, a ballet that spans millions of light years and billions of years.